Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is your boy TeladiaPlays, and welcome back to another video, guys. In today's video, we're going to be discussing WB Discovery licensing out their IPs in the gaming division. But before we start, guys, feel free to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, guys, hit that notification bell, because when a video or a live stream that I do, you will be notified for this stuff. So make sure you guys do that. Anyway, we're reading an article that came out last week from IGN in which they talk about this in depth, and they have a lot of bite size to go through. But anyway, the headline reads in the IGN article, which is saying WB Discovery wants to license franchises which includes Batman, Harry Potter, and more to other studios. AAA games, Game of Thrones games, when? So this is the headline, and this came out last week, so I will leave a link in the description for when they posted this, so you guys can read it and you can go through it yourself properly without having to hearing my mouth and whatnot. But anyway, so in the article, IGN talks about IPs, but they say in the article Batman, Justice League, Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, Game of Thrones. The list of intellectual property owned by Warner Brothers Discovery is massive, and an awful lot of it seems ripe for being turned into video games. If you're thinking Warner Brothers or WB being a little slow to leverage that library, it sounds the company leadership agrees and is looking not just to make more of its own games, but to license out some of its biggest franchises to other game studios in the future. Now, what does this mean? So this means not only like Batman, DC, Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, Game of Thrones, but you also have Mortal Kombat as well to add to this IPs of list that Warner Brothers owns. They could license them out, give them to different other studios, and they could make their games for them. So a really good example is the Batman Arkham IP was given to Camouflage, and they made Batman Arkham Shadow. They obviously licensed it, they pitched the idea as a VR game, and it came, and literally is coming out this year. It's taken them 4 years to do it, but it's a really good example. It's a third-party studio. It's not owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers doesn't own them. So it's kind of a collaborative feel to it. So that's a really good example of where Warner Brothers actually license out their IPs. Now, when it comes down to the WB Discovery earnings call, because this literally is the pinnacle of what they say. We had JP Perret and David Zaslav, the CEO of WB Discovery, having a conversation talking about the DC gaming space or the gaming space entirely. So Perret says we're looking at the evolution of storytelling in interactive entertainment space as a space, and say once there's unique areas of in the media that is growing, and both growing in terms of time spent, growing in terms of engagement, and growing in terms of revenue. And so we see this as a huge opportunity for us. We know that our franchises, particularly in work where the game industry launches a brand new franchise and getting harder and harder for a number of reasons, including IDFA deprecation and more challenges with marketing and customer acquisition, and that franchises like the ones that we have in our high demand and can help in launching games. You still need a great game, and the reality is we've had the unfortunate short period of 12 months. We've went from a record year of 2023 with Hogwarts Legacy to the unfortunate of having the opposite side of the spectrum with Suicide Squad, and it is still a hit-driven nature with some of that business. One of the areas that we're particularly leaning into, of which is about half of that $200 billion game business, is the free-to-play space. So what he means is that they want to venture not only, into the normal games like $80 games, you have to pay $100 games, but the free-to-play stuff like Multiverses, which is free to play, people can go into that and have a fun time and people can explore that world with different IPs like Superman, Batman, Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, all that different stuff, and to be able to play that free to play. Also, you know, in the earnings call, you had David Zaslav. Now, David Zaslav is the CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, and he says one of the strategic advantages of owning all of our IPs is as the world has changed. It used to be you used to launch a movie or you launch a TV series, then you do a game. But the one reason that Hogwarts Legacy was so successful and the #1 game last year, you went to Hogwarts Legacy and you entered the game, and you were able to become part of that world. Ultimately, I think the big piece of where this industry is going, I think that is the biggest piece of where this industry is going, that we created a movie where there's Batman, Superman, Harry Potter, and maybe there's a TV show, but the ability to go into that world, we have the experience spending time with all that character is something that we still own. We have 11 studios here, and we have a lot of IPs. And there's also a lot of interest among others coming in to take advantage of some of the IP for gaming, which we're looking at. Because as JP said, we need to get bigger, and the IP that we own and the value that it is and has been in the gaming space is something we're looking to take advantage of. So David Zaslav, what he's trying to say, he wants to take advantage of licensing out these IPs, whether it's from DC, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, Looney Tunes, those IPs, they can license them out, and different studios can purchase them, purchase the IP to license the IP, I should say, from Warner Brothers, build a game, and get this game out there. Now, as an example, really good example of this is obviously, like I said before, Camouflage. Camouflage must have paid X amount of money to get the Batman Arkham IP from WB and to build Arkham Shadow. They're partnering with them, and it's a VR exclusive. Now, some of you guys are like thinking, what about the console-based side of it? It can be done. You could also have a Batman Ninja game, done by Sucker Punch, who made the who made the Ninja game, right? If you know what I mean. Ghost of Tsushima. That's it, Ghost of Tsushima. The people who made the Ghost of Tsushima game, you could have them come to do a Batman Ninja game and just like that. But obviously they would have to pay X amount of license fee to basically license the name Batman. Same thing can be said for Superman, Justice League, Green Lantern, and whatnot. But this is also a very good opportunity, I believe, for DC Studios. Now, some of you are like, why would you say that? DC Studios just started off. Here's the thing: DC Studios are looking to, do the gaming space as well. And if licensing out IPs is what WB Discovery wants to do, then this also could be a big advantage for James Gunn and Peter Safran to license out different IPs to get games out for just to be a part of the DCU. For example, you got a Superman movie coming out, you could have a Superman game to tie into that, and it could be done by a different studio. It doesn't even need to be WB Montreal or Rocksteady to build that. It could be done by a different studio, and it ties into the DCU very well. Another good example is you could have a Lanterns TV show. You got a Lanterns TV show coming up, or a Lanterns TV series, and you could have a game to go alongside it, and just to tie it up. So there's just a couple of examples there. But like I said, you have to, if you're a developer, you would have to pay Warner Brothers X amount of money in order for you to license out the IP, then build the game and get the game up, 5 or 6 years time. But that's what I've got to say about this. It's looking promising for the DC brand, especially the DC Games brand, because I think this is really cool, because this could give us the great opportunity for Warner Brothers to get more IPs out there, and not just to depend on Rocksteady, WB Montreal to be the only studios, or Monolith Productions to be the only studios to build AAA open world console games. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What do you guys think about WB Discovery? you know, licensing out their IPs for their video games space, and how do you feel about it? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? And also, do you think this is a good advantage for DC Studios? So I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below, and let me know what games would you want to see from WB Discovery to license out to different studios, and which studio would you want to build your very own game? So sound off in the comment section below. I've been your boy TeladiaPlays. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at TeladiaPlays_. That link will be in the description. Make sure you like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next exciting TeladiaPlays video. Peace out, everyone.